First of all, a very good evening to all the participants. It's been really overwhelming that you all have been taken part in the GIBS IRE Talks. I'm Professor Sandeep from the team GIBS Business School, Bangalore. Today we all are connected as a part of GIBS IRE Talks. The IRE Talks Forum brings together the inspirational speakers to deliver sessions on innovation, research and entrepreneurship. GIBS always brings imparting topics that are beneficial to the students and professionals, and today's topic of IRE is marketing and advertising and introduction. So I welcome all the participants, and the keynote speaker of today is Mark sir. It's overwhelming to have you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. And before we start, please allow me to share a few words about GIBS. GIBS Business School Bangalore is a place where talents are nurtured, ambitions cherished, ideas shared and dreams fulfilled. GIBS Business School is a part of Goel Educational Trust, Bangalore, which is an exclusive BSchool, and GIBS offers majorly two programs, BBA from Bangalore University and PGDM from an AICTE approved program. We are really overjoyed to announce that GIBS has achieved 100% placement for the batch of 22 for the PGDM batch of 22-24, and we are very happy and pleased to inform that this time we have an amazing set of students throughout Pan India as well internationally as well. And for this we would like to thank all our partners, the students, education fraternity as well as all our associates for being such overwhelming with GIBS as always. GIBS students are excited to experience the new journey with Industry 4.0 curriculum and a unique number of programs for GIBS students such as Innovation, Research and Entrepreneurship Program, Finishing School, Business Mastery Program, Sports Management Certification Programs and so on and so forth. I would like to extend my warm greetings to Mr. Mark, the resource person for today's IRE Talks. So we are really grateful that you have accepted our invitation to be a part of this IRE Talks as a keynote speaker, and I would love to introduce you to our august audience. Mr. Mark is a pharma science and advertising connector, strategist and trainer. He has over 25 years of experience in the field of pharma and marketing. Sir is a director at Ostium, the medical storytellers. He holds a post-graduation in science as well as in the management. At Ostium, he has created a startup in the healthcare communications, serving pharma companies with the strategic consulting and scientific communication tools. He has also worked with a lot of top B schools in the country, which includes even the IMT Hyderabad for the marketing. GIBS is one among them, sir is associated with, and he's also consultant with various organizations and companies pan-India. Sir's few of the achievements are outstanding country performance at UBM Medico in 2007, represented India at Asian Editorial Workshop at Bali, only member to represent the planning team workshop in Singapore, key member at marketing workshop at Bangkok. So I must say that sir have traveled across the globe on the various platforms. So we are really honored to welcome you, sir, on this webinar today. And I would request all the participants, in case if you have any questions or queries, you can post it in the Q&A section. Probably at the end of the session, we will take up your questions. Sir, I would beg a pardon to you that I have cut down your profile because of this lack of time. I'm so sorry for that. And over to you, sir.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible.
Yes,
everyone can hear me. Everyone can hear me. Okay, fine. I'll just tell a few sentences about my background before I start, though Sandeep has been very kind to introduce. I come with the marketing and advertising background. I have about close to 30 years of experience in this. It's mainly strategy, marketing, advertising, communication. That's all I've been playing around. Half of it is in pharma, half of it is in the other segments. This is my background. Okay. Now, today's session is something which is very dear to me. I feel all of us in this world cannot do without marketing and advertising, though we don't realize in that sense. Okay. So this is what we'll be doing. I'll just put the content of how the flow of my presentation is going to be. We'll have a small introduction to marketing. Marketing, sales, advertising, what is the difference? Marketing, advertising, we'll see some basics. There is a psychologist in me. So there's a psychology of advertising as well we'll look into. and we'll briefly look into careers in advertising and marketing and some advertisements which I like. There are lots, but I would like to show you a few. And of course, we'll have a healthy question and answer session. Fine. So among the audience, there might be seniors or more experienced than me in this. Bear me out if I say something. I would like to learn from all of you. I think that's also the way I look at things. Okay, let us get straight to the session. Most of us have a, bored with advertising. They feel advertisers are cheaters. Advertising is cheating business. They trick you into buying something. Don't try your marketing tricks on me. These are the some of the things that we hear normally, but everything is not that true. They also have a job to do, and it appears that it's a trick, but it is not. If that is a trick, every day what we do with other people are also tricks. So we'll see what is it. I'll start with a small analogy. It will help every one of us understand and get onto the same plane about marketing and advertising. Okay, right. So you all must have seen this circus coming to town. Gemini circus is coming. So they'll put up hoardings everywhere. Circus is coming to town. You see that kind of a banner, that would be advertising, according to me. You just see circus is coming to town, Gemini circus, that would be advertising. Okay. If you put the sign on back of an elephant and walk it across the town, this is called as promotion. There's a subtle difference. Okay, there is an elephant involved, so there is an attraction which comes along with your message. Earlier, it was only the message. Now there is an attraction of an elephant along with the message. There will be children who will be drawn to it. All of us will be drawn to an elephant, and this is what is called as promotion. Okay. Now the elephant, what happens is it walks through mayor's flower bed. There's a garden which is owned by the mayor, and it walks across through it. Okay, and the local newspaper, they pick it up. For them, it is breaking news. So they write a story about it. Do you know what happened? This circus came and they put an elephant walked across. You didn't pay any money for it, but they have written that your circus is coming to town. That is what we would call as publicity. Any free advertising, we call it as publicity. Okay, and you have good relationship with the mayor. So you told the mayor, sorry, sir, this has happened, but and the mayor just laughs about it and say, oh, it's okay. It's all right. We understand. Okay. If you are able to get the mayor to laugh at this kind of an event, that would be called as public relation, because you have a good public relation, you are able to pull it off. Okay. And because of all this hullabaloo that has happened around, the town citizens are very excited and attracted to the circus. They go to the circus, buy ticket, and then they go in and watch the circus. This is what you will call as sales. Okay. And if you are the person who has planned the whole thing, and that is what is called as marketing. Marketing, a very, very huge umbrella under which there is advertising, there is sales promotion, there is publicity, and there is a hell of a lot of other things are there here. Social media, direct marketing, branding, etc., research, marketing, everything. All these things would be marketing. Marketing is a big umbrella. Sales is one aspect of it. Advertising is one aspect of it. Public relationships is one aspect of it. So marketing is a specialty by itself. I see marketing as an intersection between economics, psychology, and statistics. Okay, if you combine all these three, you get somewhat of a what you can call as marketing. That is my understanding of marketing. Okay, so in good old days, how it used to be that if you have a product, then it will sell on its own. You don't need to do anything. You have a product, it will sell. You don't need to do advertisement. You don't do any public relation. People know you have it and they'll buy it. That was more transactional. So that's how it was. Then in the 1970s, they said, no, you have to have a little better way of selling. So there is a feature that a product has, and that feature has a function, and that function has an advantage over the competition. And in the end, this is the benefit that gives to you as a buyer. All these things come into the picture. The entire selling itself changed. So good to know a bit of history about this marketing advertising went ahead. Okay, in the 1990s, there was I would say a quantum change in the way marketing and advertising was looked at. We moved on to what is called as solution selling. So people started identifying the problems of the customers and then give them the solution on one way. While on the other side, once you have already sold to them, you want them to buy more, you would still go back to the old method of feature, function, advantage, benefit. So it works in both the directions. That was how it was there. Okay, so today in 2000s, after 2000s, what has happened is we actually try to create a genuine interest in the customer. We can't simply have things and wait for the customer to come. That won't happen. We have to really make an effort for the customer to make and buy. So we have to thoroughly inquire what are the problems they are facing. We like to call it the pain points. Every customer has got a pain point. Pain point could be process pain point or price pain point. Like that, many pain points are there. Each one of us go through. So we understand the full story of what is the pain point the customer is facing, what is that he wants, what is the pain point he is facing, and how are we going to provide fits to him, and how can we make him purchase. That's what we are doing today. So marketing is basically meeting the needs of your customer at a profit. If there is no profit, there is no marketing. One of the essential things of marketing is the profit. You have to identify the customer pain points. You have to develop an offering that takes care of his unmet needs, or it takes care of his pain points. You have to communicate to him. You have to deliver it to him, and then you have to earn a profit. This is what is the entire process of marketing. All right. So many people think marketing is only I give a product to you, or what you buy is marketing. But no, marketing is many things. It is not just physical goods. There is something called product marketing, which we see in Amazon. There is something called services marketing. You go to a lawyer, you go to a dentist. That is what is services marketing. For example, the company I run, we do a consulting service. We help the clients understand what their problems are and give solution to them. That will be services marketing. Then there is event marketing, which you are all aware. There is, like, the circus is a event marketing. There are a lot of conferences which happen. There are a lot of wonderful events which happen for which we go. Like Chitrakala Parishad, there will be an event which will be there, which they will sell all kinds of stuff. That is also e-marketing. Then there is an experience marketing, where you have Thomas Cook selling 9 days and 10 nights in Europe. They are selling an experience, actually, say. That is an experience marketing. Person marketing, I think your guess is right. Our politicians do it all the time. It is like, this time we are going to have this person as the prime minister, this person as the president. All this would come under person marketing. Place marketing is come to Malleshwaram to eat the best masala dosa. That will be a place marketing kind of thing. There is property marketing. You have these resorts and real estate, and you have this builders building. There's organizational marketing. Many times what happens is when they are coming out with the public, many companies give what is called as advertisement in the paper, making their intention clear about their vision, mission, etc. That is organization marketing. Information marketing. When we had COVID, we had to tell people to wash their hands, you have to wear the mask, you have to follow social distancing. All this would be information marketing. And there is an idea marketing. Idea marketing is there is a new way of doing things. So you tell them all these things are also part of marketing. But how a common man sees marketing is that play physical good. Okay, I am selling one football, or I am selling a clock, or I am selling something. No, I think it is the whole lot of things would come under what you can call as marketing. All right. So before going into a little bit into advertising, there is a very important word called strategy, which is always bandied around in the industry, corporate, among the students. Everywhere you go, what is your strategy? What is your strategy? So I like to look at strategy in a very simple 5-step approach. Strategy is, okay, I am in Bangalore. I want to go to Madras. So where am I now? I am in Bangalore. Where do I want to go? I want to go to Madras. What are we going to do? In the sense, what is that we are going to do? Means you are going to go by bus, you are going to go by train, you are going to go by flight. How are we going to change that? Which is easier for us? Is it better to go by flight? Do we have enough money? Do we have a lot of time? These are things. And how will we manage the progress? Have we reached the place or not? So broadly, where am I? Where do I want to be? What are the various ways of going? Which one am I choosing and why? And have I got there? That is the audit part. This is broadly we can call a strategy. In fact, any company you take, the small one to the biggest one, all of them have this strategy. They say, okay, I am at 300 crores today. I want to grow to 500 crores in the next 12 months. This is the growth path. So this is where I am. This is where I want to go. So how can I grow? Okay, part of my growth will come from existing products. I'm going to launch some new products, or I'm going to buy out 2 or brands and they will add to the growth. That could be the paths. And which one am I choosing? There are 4 or 5 options. Strategy, as I believe, is sacrifice. You will have many options. For example, if I have to go from Bangalore to Madras, there are 10 ways in which I can go. I can cycle, I can walk, I can run, I can jump and go, I can roll and go, train, flight, car, pooling, etc., etc. Out of which I choose one option which suits my purse, which is the budget, or my time. That is what I would call is a strategy, because when you are choosing one option, you are sacrificing many other options. So strategy is always a sacrifice. And at the end of it, very, very important, have we achieved what we want, which is what is called as an audit. That is what is called as strategy. That is the end of strategy. So the 5 steps would be, where am I? Where do I want to go? What are the ways in which I can do? Which one am I choosing and why? And how are we tracking or auditing the strategy or the progress? All right. So this is what you can say in a different way. You can, what I told earlier was a market general strategy. Now this is more of marketing strategy. So all marketing starts with the customer. You understand the customer, you analyze the market, you analyze the competition, you do research, and then you define what is a marketing mix. We'll come to it in a bit. We do financial analysis, we review and revise, and then we close. Okay. Now here I would like to give a small definition of what is the difference between marketing and sales. In sales, I have a product, I sell it. That is what is sales. For example, I have a cart full of mangoes of 3 different varieties. One is 50 rupees per kilo, another is 100 rupees per kilo, another is 150 rupees per kilo. So one of the things I would do is I keep shouting at the top of my voice, mangoes, 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 mangoes for this, sweet mangoes, colorful mangoes, green mangoes, yellow mangoes. This is what is basically sales. Sales is a process in which you have a product, you are just pushing it to the customer. I would say that is sale. Okay. Now the definition of sales, of course, has improved. But in comparison, let us look at marketing. In marketing, we understand if I have the same cart and I have to do marketing, I'll put the mango shop in front of a place where I am likely to find customers who are prone to buy mangoes. For example, in front of a hospital, perhaps in front of a temple, in front of a, those kind of places. That is the first thing I'll do. Then I'll understand what is that the customers need. Do they need ripe mangoes for making pickles, or do they need unripe mangoes for pickles, or ripe mangoes to enjoy a milkshake or eat in a fruit salad? Which one would they like? I would like to do that. And third is, I will tell them a story telling that you are going to have a milkshake tonight, and let this be a mango milkshake. Here are wonderful lascivious mangoes for you. This is marketing. Now, where I understand the need of the customer, and then I try to sell the product to them. That is what is marketing. Sales is more of a push kind of a thing. Marketing is more of a pull kind of thing. That's a subtle difference. Of course, marketing involves a lot of other things. Sales involves managing the customer. Today, the sales role has evolved a large extent. What I am telling about sales is perhaps in the good old days, but today salespeople are very smart. They understand the needs of the customer and do solution selling. Like I said earlier, the transactional selling part is over. That remains a domain of only people who sell very, very low value goods. But otherwise, every salesman worth his salt today, right from selling a LIC policy to an insurance to a bank loan to whatever, I think they understand customer needs a lot, and they try to pitch in with that kind of a story to the sales. That's how it works today. So sales also has evolved. However, marketing also has evolved, but the basics have remained the same. So when I talk about evolution of marketing, I cannot but miss out this digital marketing, which is a very, very important part of marketing. Is a vehicle. Now in marketing, in advertising, we say there are standard vehicles. Good old days, there used to be pamphlets. Then there used to be newspapers. Then magazines came. Then radio was there. Then TV. Then after that, we got the internet. Now, once we have the internet, we have what is called as a digital space that is there. In digital space, there are a lot of things that we do. We attract and engage, we capture and nurture, we convert and measure. So for me, digital is only a media. It is only a route through which you can reach the customer. But it has assumed such a demonic proportion that people see digital marketing as marketing itself. No, not correct. In fact, if you go into Google and type digital marketing, all that you would get is digital marketing. You won't get anything about the classical marketing, which I'm talking about, which is sad, but that's the impact of digital. Nobody talks about traditional marketing at all nowadays. It's almost like, you have to really search very hard. And traditional people like me who follow the ABCs of the good old marketing style, we are at loss because digital marketing is everywhere. Of course, digital is good, digital is beautiful, but digital works in some places very wonderfully. Digital fails phenomenally in a lot of other places. We'll see that in a bit. Okay. Now, the essential part of advertising, if you see, I said about the psychology of advertising. Advertising is one part of marketing where you communicate to the customer, telling him, this is your problem, this is your need, this is your pain point, and this is what I have, and this is how you can take it from me. You are communicating the whole thing to him. That would be called as advertising. Now, in advertising, we follow what is called as the 6 steps in the psychology of persuasion. Advertising is all about persuasion. Of course, there is an information, there is a remind part and all that, but mostly it is a persuasion that we try to do with advertising. Okay. Now, I'll just quickly rush through it. The first one is called as reciprocity, which we all do all the time. If you go to a mall, you'll find there will be some sales girls will be doling out some small chips to you. Sir, can you please try this chips or try this cheese? So it is like, they give you something and we'll all feel guilty if we don't buy something from them. So this is what is called as reciprocity. India is known for that kind of a system where we give gifts to each other. I give a gift, I expect a return gift. Most of the times the events are organized, the first thing they do is, what is the return gift we have? It's almost like that. So this is what is reciprocity. In my language, I say, I scratch your back, you scratch my back. That is what is called as reciprocity. So all these samples that people give, that is what would be called as reciprocity. Then there is something called scarcity, which we use. We'll say, last 2 days, your Amazon Prime Day is going to end, your Flipkart sale is going to end just for 2 days. You can get, for a limited time, you're going to get great discounts. That would be called as a scarcity as a measure of user persuasion. Then authority, where you have demonstrate expertise and experience. You get a doctor to sell a toothpaste. For example, you get a very senior actor to talk something about life, about his experiences. These are all places where you need somebody of authority to come and tell you that, you should be careful about this, or you should buy this, right? How we use our sports people whom we love a lot. So they come and tell you to buy something, we are likely to buy. That would be authority. Then fourth one will be commitment and consistency. So we ask for a small commitment and then follow with a bigger ask. For example, I want to persuade you. I'll say, can you give me a pen? Can you give me your pen? I ask you. You give your pen to me. And then I follow it up with a request which is a little bigger. Can you give me a 100 rupee loan? I'll give it back. So you are more likely to give it because you have already given the pen to me. So you are seen as a person who would be amenable to giving something to me. Now, to be in that same frame, you would follow the consistency and give that loan also to me. That is also what we use in advertising. Liking, people always buy from people whom they like, right? So it always helps. A woman will sell better to a woman, those kind of stuff. It always happens. And we see in our regular day-to-day, oh, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Bangalore. Oh, you're from Bangalore. I'm also from Bangalore. What is that actually? We are trying to put a commonality between two totally new people with something called as liking. So once that quality is established, the sales happens much faster. And social proof is how you demonstrate how so many people are doing, why are you not doing? A simple example of that would be if you walk into one of the restaurants and it has so many people, they even standing outside waiting in a queue, you think, oh, so many people are there. Maybe the restaurant food is damn good, so I would like to go and try. That is what is called a social proof. So these are the 6 common principles of psychology which advertising uses to influence commerce, to buy. And of course, all this is based on what is the unmet need of the customer, what is the pain point, how is my product going to reduce that pain point, and how is it going to be made available, and how can I help you buy it. So we are helping in the process. So we use all this psychology in advertising. Thought it worth to share it with you. So customer pain points can be normally 4. I have a process pain point. If you are doing net banking, you would know some banks have wonderful processes, whereas the others have very, very bad interfaces. You'll always keep cursing them. Oh, I don't want to go there. So that's a process pain point. Financial pain point would be about price. It could also be about not having an option. I want to have a discount. Can you go in Amazon? I find something, but it is costing 1,000 rupees. I want it for 800 rupees. In a real market, I can bargain. In Amazon, I cannot bargain. So that is a financial pain point. Okay. In general, financial pain point would be a price pain point. There is a support pain point. So where I buy something and it doesn't work, or it is broken and I want something, then what is called as a, there is no good sales service support. That is what is called as a support pain point. Productivity pain point is you buy something and it has to work. So you have a certain expectation and it doesn't work like that, then that would be a pretty pain point. So all these are very, very, this psychology aspect of advertising, which helps us understand how to go to the customer. Okay. The other word that is around a lot is positioning. How are you going to position? How are you going to position your product? You know, this is a tough market. How are you going to position? So I have an example for that, which we'll see in the subsequent slide. But positioning is, what is it? That is the product. What it does, that is what is the benefit it gives. So what it means, okay, if it gives the benefit, what it means to me, that is the effect. And why should I care about it? That is a motivation. These are the broad pillars on which the positioning is based. Okay, now this is what you see is one humped Indian cow. You see on that there is a stamp that is there, AGS 1909. That is the original branding that used to be done. The word branding has come from that. They used to place a hot iron on the skin of the animal to demarcate it or to identify it. What a lousy way to do it. But yeah, branding came from there. This is for your information. Okay. There are 4 P's of marketing, which is product, the product itself. What are you trying to sell? Place, where can I buy the product? How easily is it available? Do I have to go very far? Do I have to go near? Is it near a railway station? All of you know about the IKEA effect in Bangalore, where you have to, the metro ridership has increased to Nagsandra just because there is an IKEA showroom there. Okay. Then there is promotion. Promotion includes advertising, sales promotion, public relations, and the entire works. And price. What is the price at which the customer would be willing to buy your product? Then the third one is what we call as the segmenting, targeting, and positioning, or the STP model, which you use. I'll make it very easy for you. Suppose I have some apples to sell. I would not want appeal to the entire world for that. Not required. Okay. Entire Karnataka, no. I'm in Bangalore only. I cannot reach everywhere. Entire Bangalore, no. So what I do is I identify an area. Okay, say which is crowded. Suppose say Malleshwaram, for example, or Majestic, for example. So this is what is segmentation. I segment entire Bangalore into various parts. I find out the place where there is going to be a lot of crowd. I also identify that the crowd might be wanting to buy an apple, either because they are going to go to a hospital, or they are going to visit some elderly people, or are they going to go to a temple, or are they going to buy it for their own consumption, or are they in a part of a shopping area where they would want to buy apples as well. So this process of splitting the entire customers into groups is what is called as, in simple terms, segmenting them. We chop them into pieces so that it's easy to manage. It's a good old divide and rule, which the Britishers did with us. You chop them into pieces, so each group is easy to manage. Once you chop the groups, then you have to target. You cannot target all the groups. It's not profitable. So you take the most profitable segment, most homogeneous segment, most common points are shared by a group of people, that kind of a segment, you target them. And positioning is, to them, you tell your apple story. My apples come from Kashmir, they are fresh, they are this, that is that. That is a positioning. That positioning I'll explain to you just in a while. What is positioning? Positioning is, what is the customer thinking? What you want the customer to think about your product? Pretty complicated, but if I give you a small example, you'll never forget it. Okay, let us go through this template, for example. For this target, this brand is the category that is the point of difference so that they can get, because they have a reason to believe. Now, let us leave this aside and then go to the next slide. Okay, here you see soap as a category. Soap is a category here. Whereas Lux is an individual soap, Margot is an individual soap, Liril is an individual soap, Rexona, Johnson, etc. No, the dash soap remains common. Okay, now positioning is, for a woman, Lux is the beauty soap. So that's why they would always put film stars who are popular at that time in their advertisements. That is what is called as the beauty soap. Now, you can remove beauty and you can say health is important. So then you have the neem soap. Neem, all of us know, has a lot of health benefits. So a housewife or a mother who is buying soap for their family thinks, okay, I want my family to be healthy. They buy the neem soap. Okay, then there is a Liril, which is the freshness soap. If you see the advertisement, there's a girl under a waterfall. There's a lot of foam and a lot of life in that. So it gives you that freshness. If you see the advertisement itself, you get that freshness, and that lemon freshness that you get. Lime is always associated with freshness. Okay, and then you have I want to have a smooth skin. A woman says, I want to have a smooth skin. So coconut oil is supposed to be good for your health. It gives you a smooth skin. So it becomes a coconut oil soap. Okay, they don't call it a coconut oil soap, but that is the selling point of Rexona. Okay, and the baby soap, I think all of you know, it's written on the pack itself. Johnson's is a baby soap, correct? But all of them are soaps. Can I use a baby? Of course I can. I'm 50 plus. I can still use a baby soap. Nobody to stop me. Okay, can I use the beauty soap? Isn't it only for women? Of course I can use. Nobody can stop that. Can I use the neem soap? Of course I can. Do I want a skin? Well, I don't care, but I still like Rexona. I use it. So this is what is happening. So each person in the target audience has different needs. So there might be one or two soaps which are from the same company, selling 2-3 different kind of soaps. They sell Lifebuoy, which is the health soap. They sell Lux, which is the beauty soap. They sell Margot, which is a neem soap, all from the same company. Same company selling soap. How do they make it different? So they segment the audience differently. Lifebuoy is more for males. You'll see a football player and you say Tandurustika, right? For good health, you use Lifebuoy. That used to be the old slogan. I don't know what it is now. So like this is what is in simple terms positioning. Okay, positioning is you take a target and you split them based on various needs, and then you take an attribute which is important for them. For some it is beauty, for some it is health, for some it is freshness, for some it is for their babies, for some it is something else. So that is what you call as positioning. So I've just put a brief note on that just to tickle your mind on what positioning is, right? Okay. Then the other thing which you use in psychology, part of marketing and advertising, is not all customers buy all the things that comes into the market. So we call this as the diffusion of innovation model. So whenever anything introduced into the market, there are a group of people who are always waiting to see what is coming new into the market, and they'll be the first ones to buy. They are called as the innovators. That is only 2% of the market. Then there is a second set who are called as the early adopters. They wait for some time. Oh, okay, what's happening? So how is it going? Is it working? And then they buy. They are called as the early adopters. Then you have the early majority. They wait for some more time. They check whether the product is really good, and only then they will buy. They are the early majority, which is 34%. And another group buys a little late in the cycle, which is called as late majority, which is 34%. And about 16 to 17% of them don't buy it at all. They are stuck, on change, and they are called as laggards. So whenever you launch a product, the first sale comes from the innovator. So actually there is a huge rise in sale immediately as soon as you launch the product. That sale comes from the innovators. Actual growth of your product sales comes from the early adopters and the early majority. And later on, when you introduce new features and all, by the time late majority will take over and it goes through the cycle again. So this is another psychology which we use to segment the audience. We know people of this age group, people of this mindset are people who are innovators. They'll pick it up fast. So we target them first. Okay. Another important surgical aspect of marketing and advertising is, if I have a product and if I want you to buy it, first be aware of it. If there is no awareness, how can I even sell it to you? So first stage is awareness. The second stage is I have to kindle an interest in you. I should say that you are using something today that has 1, 2, 3 pain points. My product has got no pain point, or it does not have these pain points. So I create an interest, then I create a desire. Desire is, why don't you try it once? This is what sample and all that. And then finally the customer buys. This is what is called typical funnel, which we use in sales. We do it for sales. We do it when we do personal selling, when we do advertising, all of them. So every advertisement or every communication that is given to the world follows these kind of steps. Okay. So the customer journey is very, very important. Initially, the customer is not even aware such a thing is there. Then he becomes aware. Then he is aware and he has a low affinity to it. Then the next stage is he is aware. He has a high affinity. He's going to buy anytime now, and he buys it perhaps. And after he buys, he just doesn't keep quiet. He actually helps other people buy also. That's when he become an evangelist. Have you seen people telling, hey, have you tried masala dosa there? It's so tasty. Why don't you go and buy? He's an evangelist for you. Correct? So that's how the customer journey happens. Okay. Now, this is how the customer moves from unaware to aware to interested to research to purchase. At each stage, you have to have a different thing that you do for the customer. For example, if the customer is unaware, you have to tell him some blog posts, infographics, videos, articles. You have to tell him, do you know the industry, what is happening in the market? You can have podcasts, you can have quotes, you can have all these things happen. Then the aware stage, if you are in the aware stage, then you have, these are the various things that you do. Then the interested stage, you do certain things. You do persuasion there. Okay. And in the research, when the client is in the, when the person who is wanting to buy is in the research stage, you help him with comparisons, you help him with calculators, fact sheets, and all that. And finally, to encourage a sale, you do what is called as how-to videos. People have used it. Have you tried it yet? Why haven't you tried? Aaji Karido. All those things we do is because when we want to push for the purchase, right? So broadly, advertisement objectives we classify into inform, persuade, remind, and reinforce. For example, Coca-Cola, all of us are aware that there is a drink called Coca-Cola. So, but why are they advertising again and again and again? So the reason is not to inform us. The reason is not to persuade us. The reason is to remind and reinforce. They have to remind us Coca-Cola is still there and reinforce us that you have drank Coca-Cola so many times. You're doing a good job of it. Why don't you go and drink some more? That is what the reinforce aspect of it. So inform aspect is when there is a new launch happening, there's an Amazon sale coming in the next 2 days. Be ready with your whatever, right? And persuasion is when you have a lot of information to share with the customer about the comparisons, the fact sheets, the guides, etc. Here is where I want to do a small exercise and tell that when you are looking at digital marketing, it is very good to remind somebody. It is very good to inform somebody, but it is a very bad medium to persuade somebody. It's very tough to persuade somebody through a digital medium. Okay, whereas something of a printed document is always good to persuade. Okay, the second thing is digital medium has a certain amount of what I would say non-believability. So whatever is in black and white in print, we tend to believe a little more. Whereas when it is through a digital medium, we always have a doubt in the corner of the mind whether this could be real, or is it fake, or is it propaganda, or is it being pushed by somebody. We have all those doubts. Whereas that is not there when it is a printed media. Most of 99% of the time. Of course, the false things can come anywhere. But So that's where when you want to persuade somebody using a lot of data, then print media is better. Whereas when you want to remind somebody, then inform somebody quickly, then digital media is very, very good. You can reach large amounts of people, and then you can reach them at a very low cost. So that's where the beauty of digital marketing comes into play. If someone says digital marketing is the future, nobody is going to read print. I'm sorry, I beg to differ. I have a very totally different view on this. My own industry, I suffer from the fallacy. Print has its own place. Audio, that is audio, you see, listen to podcasts and all that has its place. Video has its place. Social media has its place, and the so-called digital marketing also got its place. I think we are going to be richer by the number of mediums that we have, but it doesn't mean one is going to replace the other. We still buy our newspapers, we still read our magazines, we still go in depth to read something which we can touch and feel, correct? So it will coexist along with the traditional media. It will be another media which offers depth of you'll be able to do analytics, you'll be able to pinpoint, do sharp focus analysis. All that digital is going to help, and it will perhaps improve the way you do your regular old time advertising also. The digital is going to help. So it is going to be a hybrid world where there is going to be a regular traditional kind of advertising and a digital kind of advertising. It is going to be divided in two parts, and I think that is what is going to be the future. Okay, just to give you the types of digital marketing, since we are talking about it, there's email marketing, content marketing, social media marketing, pay-per-click, search engine optimization, electronic billboards, radio, TV ads, mobile marketing, viral marketing, a whole lot of things. I think all of us are exposed to it at some form or the other in digital marketing. And this is the future. It really gives us the options which are huge, right? Okay. I think I'm done with marketing and advertising introduction. What are the kind of jobs which you can see in marketing advertising? But before that, I'll just like to go through one simple, which is very dear to me. I feel the first stage of a person's career, you look at the technical skills more. Okay, that's why the green part is highlighted. First line management is there. So when you are entering a company, what is most important are your technical skills. Of course, you have to have your people skills as well, which is called as a human skills. And the third is the conceptual skills. Nobody bothers about conceptual skills because there are bigger people to do that. So when you are at an entry level, you are more for technical skills. When you go to the second stage where you have done well, you got promoted, you are in the middle management. When you're in the middle management, you are supposed to be very good at people skills. Your technical skills are there, but that is there more to solve problems, not to do your work. Whereas most of your work will be human skills. And of course, conceptual skills increase a little bit because you have to vision what is going on. And when you reach the top management, your conceptual skills becomes more, and your human skills are also important because you'll have a team to manage, but you will hardly be doing technical skills. Have this as a background. I'll take you to the next slide. If you're going to do a marketing major, these are the kind of jobs we do. They can be marketing managers, director marketing, account executive, marketing coordinator, sales. They can be in sales. They can manage accounts, marketing interns. There are a lot of jobs in marketing. Okay, just in the same way, if you are going to into advertising in agency, whether it is digital or traditional, it's going to be hybrid everywhere. So there are people who do client end servicing. There are people who do back end, which is what is the creative services. Then there is production, that is producing videos, producing various kind of content. Those are the kind of stuff. Then there is an interactive kind of guy. There's a media guy. He chooses what media to use, and that is what is there. And then there is a senior person who just who is a partner and who has a vision and who does all the visioning and all that. To go into digital, there are a lot of digital jobs. Analytics is not featuring here, but analytics is a huge segment by itself, which is, in my opinion, the sunrise industry in this. Marketing and advertising will be the marketing analytics. So social media marketing, digital marketing, search engine optimization, content marketing, web development, email marketing, and the works. Many jobs which are not, just giving you a sample of kind of jobs. What I'm essentially trying to tell is whether it is marketing or advertising or digital, the future of these jobs are absolutely safe. It cannot be replaced by artificial learning and machine intelligence and machine learning and artificial intelligence and the works of it. Not possible. Okay, these are things which requires a lot of human interaction, face to face, people to people, person to person. So it will stay, number one. Number two, machine only can do so much. Whereas when you need to really see the person's emotion and react to it, the human brain is the best at it. So these jobs are going to be there forever, according to me. Not going to be taken away by the artificial learning wave that is coming on. Okay, today we teach our children the ABCs. Earlier, A for apple, B for ball. Now we have Apple, Bluetooth, chat, download, email. I think children are very familiar with this. Okay, as when they are born, they know how to handle a mobile, to a tab, to get into stuff. I think they all have, by the time they are 10, they have all kinds of accounts, and they're very familiar with everything. Okay. One of my gurus is David Ogilvy, and he says there is no such thing as digital marketing or digital advertising. There's only good marketing and good advertising. Okay. All right. He is a person. I have a few recommendation of books which I love reading and I want to share with all of you. Ogilvy on advertising, one of the best books I've ever read. Very, very wonderful to read this book. It's a very interesting read. The best part is I have read it again and again and again over the last 30 years and never got bored with it. Every time I read it, I got a new perspective. That's the greatness of this man, David Ogilvy. There's an agency called Ogilvy named after him. Okay. Anybody doing MBA, I think this is one of the best books to have, if possible, buy and keep a hard copy. The Personal MBA by Josh Kaufman is one of the best books I have seen on MBA. It is about MBA. It's not about marketing or finance or advertising. It's about MBA. I think the way they have put images, visuals and all, it's really worth a read. And I think everyone who's, even if you're not doing MBA, I think this is a book which is worth having. This is another book. If you are into marketing in a big way, I would highly recommend this book, which is called as Beloved Brands by Graham Robertson. Now, Graham Robertson is an old pharma guy. So I'm a pharma guy, so that's how I got attracted to him. But what he says makes a lot of sense to everyone. It is not just to the pharma people. It makes sense to a lot of people. I think the structure that he gives, the templates that he has, he runs some courses also. I think all of them are absolutely fantastic. So worth book to have. It's available from Notion Press, not very expensive. Once you buy the book, it's a go-to book every time you want to go and do something in marketing. It gives you clarity like no other book can. And this is again one very old book by J. Cornard Levinson called Guerrilla Marketing in Google, and go to images part and see how guerrilla marketing is done. It's a very, very interesting sidelight of traditional marketing. Very wonderful. I think all of you can go through this, and it will really like you will really like the going through this. Okay, let us look at some advertisements quickly before we go to the question and answers. Okay, he's David Ogilvy. He says, "Tell the truth but make the truth fascinating." That's what he says. Right. Look at this ad. This is an ad. It says nude models wanted. Now see how much attention it attracts. But what they want is below. They want a chubby, double-chinned, peachy-skinned, preferably hairy, brown eyes, ages 12 months. So this is an advertisement for babies. Okay. But when this advertisement comes, you are attracted to it immediately, right? So this is the power of advertising. You see on the left, this is called as the man in the Hathaway shirt. Okay, man is having a patch. It is for the shirt, white shirt he is wearing. So this is what is called as brand personality. And David Ogilvy was a master at it. He had these Hathaway shirts and they sold by the tons just because of this man. He's called as, this man has no name, by the way. He's called as a man in the Hathaway shirt. That's about it. Man in the arrow shirt, if you say, something like that. Very interesting, I found. Okay, then traditional advertisement of Anasin. You see the 4 fingers there, because it gives 4 benefits. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, you have headache, you take Anasin. So this follows the traditional advertising problem solution model. You have headache, this is the solution. Okay, this is the problem, this is the product, and this is the solution. You have headache, you can cure headache with Anasin. You'll get fast relief. That's what it is. So it is strong enough for adults, safe enough for children. Right. M&Ms, again, I love gems better than Cadbury's gems better than M&Ms, but this advertisement is what I love. Okay, they used to send this M&M to American soldiers who were stationed in faraway places where the heat was very high, and they used to send chocolates, and the chocolates used to melt. Okay, by the time the The military guys used to open the food packets. The chocolate used to be melted. So M&M came with a very wonderful thing, which didn't melt. So they call it melts in your mouth and not in your hand. What a wonderful advertisement. Okay. And you look at this on the left, a BMW advertisement. If you want to be happy for a day, drink. If you want to be happy for a year, marry. If you want to be happy for a lifetime, ride a BMW. What an advertisement. Can it get better than this? And one on the right is, I want you for the US Army. When US Army wanted to recruit people for World War II, they put up this Uncle Sam picture and said, I want you for the US Army. Okay, here are some advertisements which I like, where there is a visual element which is made much bigger than the product is so small, Band-Aid. Okay, you see the Hulk having a Band-Aid. The Hulk's hand is so big, the Band-Aid is so small. Can you imagine a Band-Aid? Even for a Hulk, it will work. That's what it says. And Tabasco sauce, it's so spicy. That's what it says here. Okay, here is a wonderful advertisement for FedEx from UK. If you have to give it to Spain, very easy. You just open the door and put it down, and there's somebody who can carry. What better advertising than this? Okay, and look at this top class advertising of something called precision parking, a feature of Volkswagen cars. Okay, and one wrong move, I think the fishes will be dead. But I think they have this precision parking, which ensures that safe parking. And look at this Barilla, which is your what do you call that? That's Italian thing. I forgot the name of it. Yeah. Okay, whatever. See how they have created using that semolina basically, and okay, what you make noodles with, that kind of stuff. And on the right is for Dettol. You see your hand goes through so many interaction, but there is one product to take care of it, and that is Dettol. Right? And good old advertisement for YouTube. Your films will last forever on YouTube. The champion address on internet. See, there's an advertisement for YouTube. Did you know that there's an advertisement for YouTube? Twitter, the sublime mighty community with just 140 letters. And Skype, if you people are aware, it's a like hot chat system. Fabulous voice system able to put your family together. Facebook, striking miraculous social team up. Thank you. That's the end of this session. I have just tried to tickle your thoughts and your perception about advertising and marketing in the limited time that I have been given. I would be very, very happy to take any questions that I would like to.
First of all, I must say, Mark, sir, it was really indeed an amazing session. Very, very simple terms, very simple language which has been used, and it's quite interesting, which we have seen a lot of new things which we are not aware of. So thank you so much for that. So
thank you.
We'll just move to the, there are a few Q&As, questions are there. So we'll just take the questions. Sir.
Please fire them away.
So Mr. Raji asked, sir, I have a question. Just wanted to know, like what are the most effective advertising techniques used by the marketers?
Okay, it depends on the segment you are looking at. Each segment has a different style. For example, I work for a pharma industry where there are a lot of restrictions on what kind of advertising you can do, because we don't want drugs to reach a common man. It has to go only to the doctors. So I cannot release a print advertisement. I cannot advertise in Times of India. I cannot put it on TV. Okay, only some products can go onto the TV, like a cough syrup or a Volini gel, etc. So if you are to ask about the broad advertising techniques, there are there are no techniques as such. What we have is what I have showed you, the segmenting, targeting, positioning, all that happens. But when it comes to techniques, we don't call it techniques, we call it as appeals. Okay, there is humor which is used as an appeal. There is fear which is used a lot as an appeal. Okay, these kind of appeals are there. I think there are some 12 or 13 standard appeals that are there. There is, if you see some mother and child, that is a warm machinist kind of an appeal, like that. Some 10 or 12 kind of appeals are there. Okay, we try to look at those kind of appeals, but broadly every advertisement will carry the segmenting, target, positioning part. It will have a key story, it will have an appeal. So all that together would what we will call as an advertising technique. There is no single tech, each situation is different. Have I answered your question?
I think yes, sir. You have answered the question.
Yeah.
The next question has been asked by Himanshu Sharma. Why everyone thinks there is no ethics in advertising? Being a marketing student, my worry is why this mindset is there.
Oh, I live in a family in which no one knows marketing. So everyone thinks I'm a trickster who is up to some tricks and all that, because I do a lot of psychology stuff, and they think, okay, I'm up to some tricks and all. But anything is farther from the truth. That's a perception which has been created, mostly because salespeople, a lot of salespeople, because they have a need to survive and need to reach their targets, they become very, very pushy. They follow you, they haunt you. How many times you would have got calls on your phone saying, "Aapko loan chahiye, aapko ye chahiye, wo chahiye." We all get irritated. Even I get irritated by that. On the other hand, if someone were to target my profile and say, "Okay, Mark is this kind of a guy. He has this kind of a need, and he's not taking the decision because of certain reason." If someone approaches me that way, I'll be more than willing to take the leap. But the problem is, worldwide, it is surrounded by what is called as the cold calling. I just blank, I pick up some numbers from the internet or from a database and start dialing and calling, and that's what gives a bad image to the advertising. Now, on the same front, I would see there is a movie I'm watching. There's tons of advertisements which comes. I get irritated. I don't want to watch the movie. So that people have stopped watching TV now. Now TV has no meaning. I watch it on Netflix or Amazon where there are no advertisements. Why is that? The reason is that we find it is they are trying to do a hard sell for things which I don't require. So that gives a bad name to advertising. Okay, that's where it is. It has gone overboard. And we open our laptop, there are advertisements galore, digital advertisements. You have scrolling ones, you have to watch for minimum 2 minutes. How many ever trackers I put to stop all these kind of advertisements? So what happens is, when there is an overwhelming sense of push from the marketer side, we get a hatred for advertising. We try that they are trying to trick us into buying something. Okay, and that gives a bad name. Having said that, that's the bad part. The good part is we do require advertising. Advertising actually gives value to the product. It makes you aware of a lot of things which you are not aware. I have an iPhone and I still don't know many things that my iPhone can do. And I go and watch YouTube videos. There are people who say, these are the 20 things which you didn't know about your iPhone. What a fantastic thing to do. Those kind of things are very interesting. I go and seek that. If someone were to sell that to me, I would still buy it. Whereas if somebody is trying to sell me, no, you should buy this, you should buy that, do you want loan? Oh, not interested. So this is what gives a bad name about, and overall what we think is there is no ethics also. That's what we think. They are trying to cheat us. They are trying to trick us. But they are doing a pushy job. That's what is the problem.
Great.
Have I answered the question?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you so much for that, sir. The next question has been asked by Diljit Singh. My question
Yeah.
is, how marketing is different from branding, sir?
Okay, marketing is a very big umbrella in which there is something called the product, price, place, promotion. Branding is one aspect of a product. Branding is the name we give. Branding is an emotion. For example, I am from Madras. Okay, I'll still say Madras, but many people in another 20, 30 years will not know what is Madras. They'll know Chennai only. Correct? So this is an emotion which is there in a brand. Okay, for me, Madras is an emotion. Chennai is the name of the city. So that is branding. Whereas marketing is not as simple as branding. Branding is only one aspect of marketing. Whereas marketing is about price, place, that is a distribution setup. Do you know that if you go and work in Coca-Cola as an MBA marketing guy, you would be mostly sitting in front of computer and doing sales analysis of how many bottles were sold and how to make the distribution channel robust. Because what is important for Coca-Cola is not to sell the brand. That advertisement will take care. They will do point of purchase and all that. But what is important is, if Coca-Cola is available, it will sell. I'm walking on the road, I'm thirsty, I go to a shop, I have Coca-Cola, I'll drink it. If Coca-Cola is available, I'll drink it. Okay, so marketing is all that, whereas branding is only one small niche of the entire marketing. Just like sales is only one aspect of marketing. Marketing is a more bigger, broader specialty.
Great. Thank you so much for that, sir. The next question has been asked by Shalini. She says, what is the
Yeah.
significance of advertising and selling in branding?
Advertising and selling, if you say, is a kind of selling actually. Advertising is also a form of selling. Okay, we call it as a non-personal form of selling. Whereas selling is a personal form. I come and sell you 10, I have got 10 apples, take it. That is personal selling. Okay, non-personal selling is advertising. So what advertisement you see on TV is also selling only, but it is a non-personal form. They are not talking directly to you. They are talking to a mass of people. Okay, so coming back to your question, this is what gives fuel to the brand. Your brand is formed because of advertising. If you don't advertise, there is no brand. You need to have hoarding, you need to have radio spots, you need to have TV commercials, you need to have events, you need to have the whole paraphernalia to make your brand visible and make the promise reach out. Correct? Unless you do that, your brand doesn't even come into existence. If I keep it a secret, so advertising is required for branding. Advertising is the fuel for making a brand.
Great, thank you, sir. Yashwant asked how to choose correct target segment.
Very tough question, but very easy question, but very tough to do it in reality. I can tell it off in a jiffy that this is what marketing books also will tell you. So what you do is you segment. You have a huge market. Okay, Bangalore. I split it into various parts. Okay, these are poor localities. These are middle class localities. These are rich localities. Okay. Now in that I find people who own a car. I segment those people only. I am going to sell it to them. So basically, what we are trying to do is you break the market into various parts, and then you target them. When you target them, what are your objectives? Your objective is, first thing is, the market has to be homogeneous, which means if they are homogeneous, for example, I'll say broadly, I can say most people living in Jayanagar are homogeneous. They belong to a particular community, they belong to a particular social class. Most often they live in independent houses. There are not many flats there, or few flats are there I can avoid, and they might be owning a car. So this is a certain amount of homogeneity. Now, these are all material ownerships. Now, with material ownerships, I attach a psychographic ownership as well. For example, people who are having all these things, living in a particular area, belonging to a particular community, may probably have a similar mindset towards the market or purchasing as well. So that's one of the ways in which you can select a target market. But having selected a market, you have to be very sure whether the market is profitable. If it is not profitable, it is useless. It might be a great market for you, but it should be profitable for you, because the essence of marketing is to earn a profit. That was my first slide, if you remember. So you have to earn a profit. And number two, when you're doing a communication, you have to give something which is relevant to the audience and different from what the competition is doing. If these three things are taken care, then you've got your target market.
Great. Sir, we'll just take a couple of questions more.
Go on.
So, Mr. Pratik Shekhar Vishwakarma asked, are we still following the traditional advertising in the modern era in the growing industries?
Very much, very much. We have to follow. There is no advertising as a science is evolving. We have something called behavioral economics, which has come in. You can check that out. There are a lot of bias which we have. You can go and read about bias, BIAS. Behavioral economics. These are the tag words which you can search on Google. There is a lot of data on that. In fact, I wanted to recommend a book which is called as Behavioral Economics for Kids. That book is there, available on the net. You can download it and read. It is as if they're teaching behavioral economics to children. Now, behavioral economics is a cross between psychology and economics. This is where advertising is moving today. Okay, and people are, advertising will constantly evolve. There is no two ways about it. But the traditional foundation on which the advertising was built will never go away. You still have to follow that. People can be experts in digital marketing, but unless they know how a traditional advertising is done, it will fall flat. So you need to know the basic awareness, interest, desire, action, inform, persuade, remind, all the things that I told you, segmenting, targeting, positioning. All these are the basics of advertising. The diffusion, innovation curve that I showed you, product, price, place, promotion, all these aspects will never lose place. There were 4 P's, then they made 6 P's, then they made 8 P's, there are 10 P's. You can get any number of things, but the basic stuff will never change. The foundation on which it is built never changes. You build on that. It evolves like any other industry.
Okay. So we'll take the last question, sir. Sharath Natesh is asking, with minimum interest span and retention abilities, how to attract the minimal audience towards our brand?
Yeah, millennial audience are very tough because their interest rates are vast. I find the generation having a vast knowledge on 1 million things, but the depth of knowledge is very shallow. But the width The number of topics that they know are massive. At their age, I didn't know so many things because there was no internet. I had to go to a library, seek out and all that. Okay, that is one. Second part is you have to understand that if I have dandruff, if someone has dandruff, for example, and I have to reach out to them, how do I reach out to them? I don't go and tell them I have clinic shampoo, buy it. They'll not buy it. If I tell them, are you suffering from dandruff? I have a solution for it, which means they will buy it. Now, why does this happen? When you are able to correctly reach the audience with their problem or the pain point, they will listen to you. Otherwise, they'll not listen to you. That's the way to reach anybody, whether it is millennial or the baby boomers or Gen X or Gen Y, anybody. If you attack their pain point or a problem statement, then you'll have audience. Otherwise, it will always be tough.
Absolutely, sir. Sir, I personally have one thing which I want
Please,
to
go
address
on.
the audience. That
Yeah,
in Indian mindset, most of them, when we speak with a lot of students pan India, when we speak about marketing, okay, the
yeah,
first mindset comes to their mind is selling those dictionaries,
yeah,
selling signals. Is basically this is the way which has been carried out. So, what
correct.
message would you like to give to the audience of today's generation who think marketing is only selling, but that's just a
No,
mere
no.
part of it?
Yeah. Yeah, very much. That is also part of marketing. What they sell, the dictionaries and all that encyclopedias which you see on the road, they are personal selling. They have a stock and they sell it. That's more of push selling only. That's not marketing. Marketing is much bigger than that. Once you come into marketing, if you're interested in psychology, if you're a student of economics, you like statistics. Okay, you like to understand the human mind and reach out to them and touch it with some emotion. I think that's what is marketing. If you can do that, and it's a marketing is, in my opinion, a service that you do to the humankind. I think look at it that way. It's not about pushing dictionaries or pushing mangoes or pushing something. It's not that. It's much bigger than that, and it's evolving at a very wonderful pace. Like I said, marketing analytics is the future. It's going to have the how you are going to. There are people who are very good with numbers. That's also marketing. They'll do data crunching and take out insights. Insights, that one word is defines the entire advertising. If you have an insight about certain things, then that makes your communication interesting. Go and look at some popular advertisements, good headlines and all that. You will really find a lot of warmth in that. I think that's the way to look at marketing.
Sure. Thank you so much for such a wonderful session, sir. I must say,
Thanks to GIBS. Thanks to GIBS. I think your IRE talks is one fabulous thing which I think I want. I've never seen in any other MBA institute. Okay. In fact, I want to myself, volunteer and partner for these things where they give students an extraordinary experience in terms of giving them knowledge and giving them an experience of how to do a startup and all those things. I think good luck to GIBS for that. Yeah.
thank you so
Thanks
much
for
for
your
it.
opportunity. Yeah.
And I must say that since Mark sir, we are really eager to see you. I'm sure another couple of days you will also be visiting to our campus. We are
Yeah.
really happy to welcome you, and I would love to welcome all the audience, whoever are there in Bangalore. Anytime you are available, I would say please walk in, have a look around the campus. I'm sure you would love the state of art infrastructure what GIBS has it. And I would like to thank all the participants who have taken out time and invested in GIBS, trusted us as well as the entire education system. Thank you so much for being a part of this IRE Talk series. And we would request you all to follow us on the social media so that you can stay updated with our upcoming IRE Talks series as well. And for all the participants, the certificates will be issued, will be sent across to your emails in the next 2 working days. So probably around Tuesday, you will be receiving your certificates on your registered email ID. And Mark sir, thank you once again. That's
Thank you.
from my bottom of my heart. I must say thank you so much for being a part of this amazing session, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye, sir.